those that are joining us live on the SuperSport PSL channel as well as Blitz. Thank you very much and welcome to this press conference, which has been called by the league chairman, Dr. Ivan Khoza. I will now hand over to the chairman to be able to give us the opening address.
Fatone, may I start?
Yes, Chairman, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, members of the media, our partners, MultiChoice, SuperSport, for gracing this occasion. I think it's very important that the members of the fourth estate are given the respect they deserve, because I understood that there were a lot of interpretation as to why the league is not starting. Now, in my business, for all the years I've been involved, I told my members that we're in the business of creating content. And we are in a country that is too much grieving taking place. Our responsibility is to maintain the happiness index in everything that we are doing. Now, somebody in our member of the Premier Soccer League leaked, a document about a circular about, why, does not use their sleeves. That is antisocial behavior, because social messaging of the PSL is thorough, consistent, and predictable. Now, sitting here as the chairman of this league, I'm not surprised when they say one of the top 10 leagues in the world, because we know that the importance of a fixture. A fixture is fixed, it's not a mortgage. A fixture is very important for planning and to advance the purpose it's intended for. When we invite sponsors because we are saying that, you've got the audience. We're a platform of go-to the transaction volumes, which you call your customers or whatever. So therefore, it's very important that, when you take out information which fragment the messaging, that is discounting that impact that we are known for as a PSL. Thinking about Egypt, for instance, those that are affair with the issues in Egypt. Last 2022 season, their league finished, I think, on the 18th of July. This season is going to end up in August, because they had to suspend the fixtures because of the Al-Ali games taking place. They're still catching up till now. Our fixtures are all moving at the same time. There are things that we do as a PSL when we build a calendar. We build a calendar by first making sure that we plot the dates that are given to us in terms of the international FIFA calendar, to make sure that those dates that are reserved are taken care of without making any mistakes. But also we've got another leg of CAF competitions, which assist us in drawing the fixture, making sure that also make allowances just in case the team could not make it back on time into the country. There are alternative dates that are also plotted into the calendar. As we know that there are competitions that are taking place. Right now we are not sure. Now we are sure that AFCON is taking place when. Nobody was sure. The other competitions that are impacted on the league that we need to accommodate, we're not sure. So when you take out a fixture with those uncertainties, it creates a problem, a disruption in the market. And I always say to you, and I relate this story, that every sponsor, when they buy a spot in the advertising around the match, they've done their research. They know that at this point in time, the eyeballs are at this level. so I must buy the sport to get my return on investment. But if that doesn't happen, how can they trust you as a product, as a go-to-market product? Because they are discounting now the eyeballs. I remember when I was not part of the television in 1975, when it started, because we were just being spoiled by Match of the Day, Martin Tyler. For those that are old enough, Saleman is not here, you remember that. We went and see the game at 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. But I didn't realize that, when you advertise sometimes at halftime, everybody has left the seat, is going to the bar, is going to have sandwich, is going to the gents, and is going outside to check his car is safe. It creates problems. So it's very important to understand all those dynamics when you prepare a product of a fixture. So the dates are very important to make sure that we do things in a manner that is going to be helpful for everybody. But more importantly, we all know that the season was abnormal last season. Abnormal in the sense that there was AFCON, we had to switch out the dates. We also make sure that you accommodate, the bronze medalists. We had to change about 8 games to accommodate. As we speak, I think Sundowns have played about 58 games, the whole season. Pirates has played 45 games, SuperSport 43 games, Stellenbosch 41 games. It's a killer. But also those players that went to the national team also had to play extra games. Now, the issues of recovery is a problem. Imagine we're still been playing our games to end up 18th of August like Egypt. To be chaotic. But we've managed the fixture in support of our sponsors, the partners, which are remarkable in making sure that this league is viable. Talking about multi-choice or SuperSport, it's quite remarkable when you read in the media some of the stories. This is one corporate citizen that I've got highly regard. The boss is here himself, Mark Jury, and his team, Mr. Rendani, Mr. Abrams is here. During COVID, when we were in trouble, media was writing, no, but how can the PSL go to the bubble? People will die, some of the media. But some of them later on, they came back and said, no, but when we started, we're going to lose our jobs. I said, hey, what do you mean now? But the important thing I want to highlight, our sponsor, our partner, never asked for a refund for non-performance of what we promised them, which was force majeure. But they said, we understand. Count on us. I want to thank you for that, because that's what partnership is all about. And that's why I did that, because I know that today we've got a channel 202. It's unheard of. That anything that we want to produce, to promote, to project, we've got a channel. But that channel is for content that is qualitative, because our market is very sensitive, very fastidious. So we make sure what we provide in that channel, it's a matter of content that is comparable. That's why I'm proud sitting here as the chairman of this league, that all the leagues in the continent, maybe 1 or 2 teams in Egypt, our supporters of each and every 32 teams of the league, they put the jerseys of their supporters, of their team that they're supporting. You go to some countries in the continent, you see United Nations, you see European Union, you see Arab League in terms of the regalia, not here. We're a stubborn market to make sure that you are relevant, because local is local, because we are able to understand the nuances of the people, and that reminds me. The guiding principle of those that are educated, that Mr. Mama Buddha, he knows about intelligent quotient and the emotional quotient. But there's the social quotient that is very important in understanding how to create networks. that deals with the issues of charisma. Football by its nature produces a lot of people with charisma. But the most important one is the one that is adversity quotient. If you are tried and tested, you have been bruised. That talks to character. So all the things that we do in a manner that is understandable to say, what is the market expecting? Our market is very fastidious. They know what is right, they know what is good for them. They are itching as we speak. When is the league starting? It shows that, on our toes to make sure that we do things in a manner that's going to assist us in making sure that, we start on the right footing. I can tell you that the league is starting on the 3rd of August, as indicated. No amount date is going to be shifted. It's starting exactly. The CEO will be issuing the fixture this afternoon of what is happening on the 3rd of August, as promised to everybody. Sitting here, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Lawrence Michael to join me on the stage. It's a short day for me. Beyond this press conference, we now have Betway Premiership as a sponsor of the league. Thank you very much, DStv Premiership sponsor. It was done in this way because it was part of the plan a long time ago. We in the executive committee, we know that. The media and other people don't know that. That's why we are here, because we are going to be continuing on other elements of our business. And I'm happy to welcome to the podium Lawrence Michael to talk about himself. He's got a team, he's going to introduce them, because that is the platform that is given to him. I must monopolize the platform, because I'm available to you at any given time. Congratulations for being part of the PSL.
Okay, good morning everybody, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's wonderful to be here and to talk about what we are going to be doing next. We're thrilled to announce a significant investment in multi-year partnership with the Premier Soccer League. This partnership, I must remind you, is the single biggest investment in South African sport. Okay, let that sink in. Biggest single investment in South African sport, and underscores Betway's commitment to the future of South African sport, and especially the future of South African football. Football is woven into the fabric of our lives. It's all part of our lives, whichever way we look at it, and forms an integral part of our identity as a brand. We take immense pride in supporting a league that captures the essence of football and culture in this country and beyond. To champion South African success stories, our partnership with the PSL will honor the rich heritage and history of South African football while charting an innovative future for the industry. The Betway Premiership will draw on the league's legacy. You can even see from the logos that are presented to you how there's an extension of the PSL logo into the Betway Premiership logo. It will enhance the game today and build an even better future for the next generation of football stars and fans. I'm sure you're all aware that Betway as an international brand has been integrally involved with teams and leagues across the world. And I think our probably the partnership that we're best known for is the principal sponsor of West Ham in the English Premier League, which we've been partners with West Ham for many, many years. We are also the betting partners of Arsenal, Brighton and Hove, and Atletico Madrid, to name but a few. We are proud, very, very proud, to add the Betway Premiership to this illustrious list. In the short time that Betway has been represented in the South African market, which I must remind you is probably only 6 years. In fact, it is 6 years, coming up in September. Its commitment to furthering South African sport is really evident. And if you look at the properties in the 4 major sporting codes in South Africa, which is football, we now have the Betway Premiership. Cricket, the Betway SA20. Horse racing, the Betway Summer Cup. And rugby, we are a proud sponsor of the Springboks. So really this completes the picture for us. And it's a great picture. It shows our commitment. It shows that we put our money where our mouth is. It shows that we support South African sport. And we are happy to do the same with the PSL. One of the major issues that the chairman spoke about this morning, which we're definitely going to be furthering, is content. We think that we can do a lot with content around the PSL, around the heritage of the PSL, but we need a partner to do that. And DStv is that partner. We've had an unbelievable partnership with DStv from the day we've been in business. I think you see Betway everywhere. The DStv and MultiChoice have been an amazing partner. We know they will continue being an amazing partner. I think in order to make things work, you need the league, you need a sponsor who's willing, and you need the broadcaster. And I think that we now have all three, and we're really going to tell a fantastic story. So in the, what do they say? Let the games begin, okay? Let the Betway Premiership begin. We're ready, and I think you're going to see really some fantastic stuff from us in the future. And thank you to everybody at the PSL, especially the chairman, who's been a very, very willing partner, and we look forward to a very successful partnership. Thank you all.
All right, members of the media, please get your questions ready. We're going to be taking a Q&A session here. Okay. Okay, thank you, Chair. The chairman has allowed me on his podium today. So, okay. Noted. Just by a show of hands, we will take the first round of questions. I've got a roving microphone here. I've noted the senior, Mr. Mamabulu, on my left-hand side. I've also noted 2 more hands there. Can we start maybe this side since the microphone is already there? I see John T. Mark, and then Njabulo Ngiti will come up next. Please just indicate your name and the name of the publication before asking the question. Thank you.
John T. Mark from the Citizen newspaper. I'll start with probably the obvious one to Mr. Michel or Mr. Khoza. You've called it the biggest single investment in South African sport. Are you able to tell us how much that investment is exactly in terms of rands? Thank you. And how long?
Like money, eh?
You like money.
It's a 3-year sponsorship. It's around about 900 million.
John T., are you covered?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you covered? covered. Okay, can we move on to Njabulo Ngiti?
Jabulangita from News 24. My question is to you, Chairman. The PSL for a bet has sort of frowned upon betting. Even Swallows have been on record that they were not allowed to get a betting partner. What has changed to make the league to get Betway to sponsor it?
Well, that's why I'm saying that this country is with a kind of grievances. And we don't tell the truth. I cannot talk about my teams. We've got teams like Kaiser Chiefs, Golden Arrows, Stellenbosch, Orlando Pirates, who are sponsored by a betting company. Football is an industry of rules. If you follow the rules and you comply with the rules, which we all agreed, the sport person was a very unfortunate experience because there was a moratorium of everybody, and they decided to go against the rules. And that is history now. We did not frown on anybody. I had several meetings with Hollywood Bets, several meetings. I had meetings with the sponsors that wanted to sponsor Solos. In fact, when I spoke to Hollywood Bets, I had a meeting in one of my other clubs, came to see me in the morning. 4 people came to see me about the same company. The rest is history. So we don't chase away anybody. Solos, I think Mr. Mukhasha wrote a letter of apology in the media, and he told the truth that they did not comply. So we don't frown on anybody. We do things the right way. Even if they are -1 in truth, the truth remains the truth. But here, as the chairman of the league, it's our responsibility to assist our clubs to be sponsored. The grant is not an obligation of the league. It's not a must-have because it's not in the rules. You get the money if the money as and when it's available. We made sure that it's always available. We understood why it was important for us to create a grant for the teams. So we cannot be the people that deny the team access to resources because this league is becoming more competitive by the day. So that's why any help that the club wanted, we gave that support. In fact, 2 of our teams, one of them was a broadcast sponsor. I had a meeting of about 6 hours with a potential sponsor. But he wanted to get what he knew he cannot get. He was not honest to the club. I had to unpack in front of the CEO of that company. But don't lie to this person. Either you give him the money or you don't give him the money, but don't lie. So sitting here, Mr. Ngeti.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, I'm at peace. If you've got somebody who's going to say in Amara, call a press conference. You must come and tell me in front of the public. Yeah.
Right, we'll move on to the next question. Okay, Mr. Mamabolo is covered. There's another hand there. Mr. Nkaring.
Okay. Good morning, Chairman. With the manner that the DStv sponsorship ended a year before the actual contract was to end, what is the future of the broadcast rights and also the DDC league, given that they are from the same multi-choice company? Thanks.
For the record, Chairman, that is Nkaring Matsi from Sowetan.
From the Sowetan.
Yes, he's still there.
Now he's the editor now.
Yeah.
When he came, to the industry, he was 17 years old. And he had a lot of stock money in that, media house. Now, I said to you, it's quite a very privileged experience to have a corporate, partner as unique as multi-choice, or I want to call it super sport. Let me tell you a story in Nkaring. When we went to them with the idea of the DStv, even my members, we're not sure what I'm talking about. That's why I respect the CEO sitting here in front of me. That, when, I communicated, the plan, and we were supposed to launch, a lot of guys did not attend the launch. Now, I was doing this thing for a reason. Number one, there's a principle I used when I was the Secretary of Pirates when I was young. Catch them young. Because if you don't do that, at that time there was no platforms that are in abundance. Content was not democratized like it is now. Because people, they choose what they want to see. Then I said, it's very important to have this conveyor belt because the money become lesser and less available to buy players, but to own players. Went with the plan to SuperSport, they agreed. When we were supposed to launch, the CEO in 2014 was just relegated. She was the only one in the press conference when we launched it in Durban. Having been relegated. But nature and fate has got its own way of rewarding you. When she bounced back the following year, she won the DStv twice, 2 years in a row. Because she was the team that was producing all the time, new talent onto the conveyor belt. So this one is a pet project of multi-choice. There's a program we have, Let's Play. But this is a lifestyle thing that was conceived to say, a lot of kids are in the bedroom with a PlayStation. Why can't you take them out? It's a marvel to see all the 16 teams when they travel. Mind you, they travel, they are airborne, no by bus or by truck. BPK, they used to travel by truck, in Chesterfield when they go to a match. 35 in a truck that takes 12 people, the 35 is they try, but all of them in their track suits. All of them in a proper kit, sitting on the bench. Now that is important in terms of, we are saying, how to now cultivate the culture of identifying, because we say to the PSL, not all locations of the country they've got teams. If that community, they don't have a team, they have a star that they're going to support, it's good for business of football, it's good of making sure that you are part of content that is in demand in the country. The viewership of DStv, that's unbelievable. A lot of kids, they want to play the DStv now because we've turned it into a lifestyle thing. DStv is a lifestyle. So it competes with a lot of other attractions that you have of the kids, that take them away from football. Because if you don't do that, you're going to lose them. So they are here to stay entertaining, Karim. As I speak to you, there's a 5 years that is starting this season on the DStv. For now, I've got 5 years I can guarantee you and say they're here for 5 years. Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. We've got another question on our left-hand side from Pilasande.
Chairman, Pilasande Seklaba from Kaya FM. I wanted to find out, you spoke about the grants. Will the money for the grants increase now that there has been a presumed increase in the sponsorship, naming rights sponsorship from Betway?
That's the privilege of the clubs. We don't talk in money, because if you talk about money without the clubs knowing, there's a signing on fee of this agent that want to say, I want the signing on fee. The chairman told us there's going to be more money coming in. Money of the grant is a privilege. We're going to the AGM in November. It might be discussed there, but I don't think so. But they must go and fend for themselves and get sponsors for themselves. They've got a kickstart of the grant for about 30 million rands a year. No business can give you that is return on investment. You're just coming in, my case is just coming in, they got a check of 30 million. because we are trying to make them to be grounded because we want a quality PSL. That's why also with the first division, people are not aware that over and above all other sponsorship they have, we spend the extra 150 million rands to fund the first division. We want quality teams coming into the Premier Division. So all the time we're playing back. We said we're not going to keep money in the bank here because it's going to be an attraction for contestation for the press. If you are a chairman, come and show us how can you be a chairman. Because now there's no money in the bank, one's going to get the money. If it's your turn. So now you're doing a 300 million in the bank, we're troubled. But for now, the clubs, they know what is good for them. Yes.
Okay, then I think we've got a question from Sokala to Matsepang. Is it Josie FM? No, I've noted you, Temba. The mic is already with Sokala Duma on your left-hand side, Chair.
Good morning. Tsapang from Sokala Duma. What's the prize money for the league-winning team?
Watch the space. Because the fixture is not out yet. I cannot talk about prize money when the fixture is not out. But I can just tell you when the fixture is starting of the league. It's starting on the 10th of September. Because we've got the Bafana games taking place, FIFA calendar. So, but the other games are starting on the 3rd of August.
Thank you. If we can get the mic, or you already have the mic, Power FM. Josie FM, you are next. Power FM, Maskepe. It's on your left-hand side, Chair.
Chairman Maskepe Matsavana from Power FM. How much value is placed on the supporters when the league has to start on the 3rd, and they are only finding out today? Where it's like, things are just happening instantly. How much value and preparation goes, or thought goes into the supporters as to how they also prepare themselves for things like this?
That's why I said to you earlier on, when you draw a fixture, there's a lot of elements that you take into account. CAF dates, FIFA dates, players, rest, because if you play 58 games, you need recovery. Labor Relations Act demands that the players must get 3 weeks leave out of their schedule. And when you give a fixture that was not going to change, stop and go. We've been very consistent, in making sure that our fixture is always aligned accordingly. Supporters are waiting for the fixture to be out, and they tell me what's going to happen when the fixture is out. Because if we did not do what we're doing now, with other things that are privileged to the executive committee, which I said this morning, to round up things. Fortunately, we've got 8 teams in that executive committee. We've got so much, welfare of the supporters at heart. We will produce a fixture that's going to assist for them to do the planning properly. So that's why the fixture is going to be introduced in a manner that we are doing to assist them to plan. And that's why I said to you earlier on, we are the one that knows that the fixture is fixed, not a movature. You had to move it last time, created problems. Nobody talk a lot about the supporters, because if you change the future, you really need to made your plans, because there are new things that are coming in. How do you plan? So that's why even now there are a lot of variables that are unknown to us, but you could not wait no longer. But introduce the future. But I'm not here to talk about other things. When I talk about other things, it's another press conference. But it is a responsible executive committee that does things in a proper way. We've never issued a fixture date. It's not us that is responsible for that. We will get the truth one day where the issues are. But the future is out, after this press conference, I think.
Moving on to Temba. Do you have the mic? Temba, just raise your hand so we can see.
Thank you. Thank you for Temba Shabalala, Joseph from Sports. Chairman, with the relationship that you had with DStv, it was pretty good. Are there any immediate deliverables that are expected from Betway, apart from the sponsorship itself, in terms of the relationship, what else does it entail that will benefit our football apart from the money? And the betting, it's an obvious matter, Chair, that players do bet. Are you, as the PSL, revisiting the matter of players betting, active players actually? We've seen it happen that some of the players were in social media talking about betting openly. Are they exempted from this, or what's the story with that?
Our core business is to create conversation. They told me that they're going to assist us in strengthening that conversation. Our core business is conversation, creating conversation. That's our business. Content creating, but creating conversation. We're partners with the SuperSport or MultiChoice as content, people, content creators, but platform, but they said to me, because we're creating conversation, we're going to strengthen the conversation, we're going to strengthen the voice. Now, the issues of what's called, it's one of the conditionalities that we are going to supply the sponsor the names of all the people that are involved with the team that are registered with us here. If they dribble the system, it's not for us to worry about that part. But we've done a responsible thing that all the names with Poppy are taken into account, to take into account on the privacy of the data that's going to be given. So they must just have the comfort of knowing, but how to regulate it. Because it's online, if you use another mobile phone, how are you going to know? But we've taken conscious steps to minimize the damage as a responsible organization. It's going to be flattened out strongly on the... By the way, can you read that section, Mike?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I don't have it with me, but it's a misconduct rule that Chairman talked about.
Mike, please can you just wait for the microphone there?
Misconduct rule, which covers all participants in professional football, as the chairman says, officers, players, coaches, the works, and that will be approved by the Board of Governors and will become a rule. So that's already in the works. The Executive Committee doesn't have the power to amend the NSL handbook, but the Board of Governors does. But the ExCo has approved the rule and it's ready to go.
Timothy.
All right.
Timothy.
Mulobi, can we just get the microphone? City Press, Timothy Mulobi.
Thank you. Chair, are there penalties, financial penalties that the DStv is going to pay for ending the sponsorship early? If so, how much?
I don't want to, when I leave this place, they say to me, this Ivan Khoza is a bottomless pit of ingratitude. When the shoe was on his side, without even pleading, they gave me a letter to say, we're not going to ask for a refund for non-delivery during COVID. So why must there be penalties? The English way they're using abrogation. The lawyers, they talk about what is abrogation, Mike? When it comes to abrogation, then there's a pay. Not here. This is a partnership that we are jealous about. If most of the sponsors can be at the same level with their value systems, that's why you go out of our way to do the extra mile. And I'm happy that Betway has been involved with the culture of SuperSport, MultiChoice. You're going to join in on what is also a moving, culture going forward. So we don't do that. We are grateful, we are appreciative. For them to also come up with a budget, to start a disc, it was not in their budget. When I asked them to get involved in the disc, it was not in their budget. So now, how can I now, in good conscience? That's why I say I don't want to be labeled as a bottomless pit of ingratitude. That's why I don't celebrate birthdays. Because, it's my birthday. Now, you invite people to your birthday, it ends up being a bad day. When they are drunk, they insult you when they are drunk. Instead of being a bad day, then it becomes a bad day now. So why did I invite these people? So we can't do that to MultiChoice because they are a worthy partner to have in a million years to come. They are still part of us. You know, I'll never forget the experience when we put the ITT to tender in 2007. We never put a reserve price. We said the market must determine the price. The rest is history. But not only that, there was a 40-page document of how they're going to enhance the brand of PSL. 40-page document. We spoke about minimum requirements in that bid, how you're going to make sure that you... Even before they start, there was a game that was taking place during the FIFA inspection. They went to friendly game, you know, to make sure that the technical team of FIFA watches the game. For the first time, it was a game of Pirates and Sundowns. It was the first time when they used 24, 26 cameras. The chairman of the delegation was a chairman of the League Association in Switzerland. He left the room. He came back after 20 minutes, embarrassed. He said, in my country, we're using 6 cameras. SuperSport is a business card for South Africa. SuperSport is a business card for South Africa. We didn't know Jimmy Jeeps. They educated us. What you see as quality, because the 2010 brought us, you know, a lot of challenges. Because you are saying to people that's how football should look like, the pitch should look like, the presentation of the product should look like. That's why we now, after that, you know, experience, we develop what is called compliance manual. Media manual, marketing manual, infrastructure manual, all the manuals. So that whoever comes in is inducted, understands. Because we've created a standard that is now respected, must maintain that standard. SuperSport, we're there all the way.
I think we are wrapping up now, Chairman, but with your permission, I see a few more hands. Can I take the last round?
There's BBK there.
Okay. BBK, you can go ahead. I've noted the other hands.
Chair, clarity. August 3, September 12. 10, sorry, my mistake.
Yes.
What happens on August 3? The league kicks off.
The league is kicking off. We're kicking off on the 3rd.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the second thing is, in your observation, what will be the situation when it comes to sponsors wanting to come to the party and join up with the Premier Soccer League? When you look at the pre-2010 frenzy that we had, conglomerates were falling all over themselves and trying to get a slice of the pie. And post that to current, what would you say the situation is? And then the last one, in terms of making sure that we try and boost the bums on the seats at the stadium, what is being done to try and encourage more and more people to come and support this league that is one of the top in the world in terms of making a presence at the stadiums?
You know, in October last year, a game of Pirates and Sundowns attracted more people than the people in the final of the rugby. 9.5 million people, 9.8 million people. Now the consumption of football, you know, in this country has got its own way of being consumed. And I always said this with PBK, with due respect, that the culture in South Africa is not the same culture in the United Kingdom and elsewhere. And I spoke about the United Kingdom. That when you are born with a scarf, and they give you a name. That scarf is going to be a scarf for the rest of your life. It means there's a team going to support in that neighborhood. Now the teams we have, most of them, they don't belong to neighborhoods. They belong to people that they love the sport, they are passionate about the sport. But we are saying to ourselves, teams have come into the party to make sure that they understand. That's why we've got what is called focus weekends, for games to focus on all the teams in the PSL to give them a chance to be the mainstream team for that weekend or for that month. But also you cannot now choose or anticipate the taste of the supporters at that particular time because there's a lot of distraction. There's only one constant fixture that is enjoying the privilege, and that's the derby. Whether the derby we are off form or not off form, but you're not going to get 90,000 people. But you can see the crowd that were coming in all the games, in the last season. So it's a question of what the supporters are saying, what keeps them busy, because they've got a lot of attractions now that keeps them busy. And the price of the ticket, the VK, for the last 15 years is the same price, 40 Rand. Nobody says, but why don't you list up the price? It cannot be the price, because they're consuming the thing differently. And I think our competitor is multi-choice, because they made it sure that, the wife are responsible. Wives, they were saying to their husband, love, invite your friends here, man. Because some of them, they use football as a visa. I'm going to the match. The wife now got to understand the package offered by multi-choice. Says, love, bring your friends here. What you want? You want to fry? You want to cook? I'll do everything. You want the whiskey? Whatever you want. So most of them, they arrange in that fashion. They don't go to the stadium. But if it's an away game, love, we're playing in Devon, I must go. They leave on Thursday. And Saturday they must come back. They say, I was so dry, I could not come back. They come back on Sunday. So these are the patterns that we cannot guarantee a PBK. But everything is done, and the clubs are responsible for that. We do the thing, and our fixture, you can see, is so much in demand as a go-to the market platform because of the quality of sponsors that we attract, especially sponsors of the league. They remain there because they get value out of that investment in so many ways than one. Because the life now is giving us so many platforms to consume the sport. Some of the ghost people that are commentating, this game is 3 I don't know, but this guy does not pay any money to us, man. But it's commentating on the game. The late squad used to shut down almost 500, black market, broadcasters. Now those people also they take away and they give competition prizes to people who are subscribing to their platform. So the attractiveness of the property. So that I can leave it to the supporters, not for me. But we are doing our best to give them what is good for them.
Okay, so Vatango Beni, ENCA.
Just Chairman, the sponsorship obviously is lifeblood of football, but are you not concerned as a PSL at how money has sort of erased some of the heritage of football clubs? Bloem Celtic is gone, Wits is gone, and now Moraga Solos.
But how can I answer that question? Because we don't invite people. Now, heritage is nice to have. What we do as a league, we always try to maintain the culture, the history of that particular club. If the guy was owning the club, he decides to die, and the wife is not interested in football, we always advise them that before you do anything, check in the community that is any takers. Now, I want to come back to Celtics. I was involved in that Celtics thing. There are guys who are serious who came to see me. We're buying Celtics. 20 minutes after talking to me, one of them comes back, must please get us a sponsor. Now, in the meeting, there was a condition they asked, which we agreed. They want to do due diligence. With the information of that due diligence, it was in the middle already. They are saying they are from Free State. Even the government, of Free State, they were also involved in one way or another attempt to assist the other people. There's a guy who's owning very important, property in your space. Wanted to buy Celtics. Very same thing. Even Solos, where it is today, it's unfortunate because when Leon was owning the team, I had people coming to see me, all supporters. Some of them, I started with them when I was still a cashier. You remember, that's why I started in the NPSL. I was a gatekeeper. I used to work with them there, but I ended up becoming their supervisor. So they came to see me, 20 of them, they came to the boardroom. But Brother Ivan, this team is our team. I mean, supporters since 1962. Can you give us the club back? But there's a company, how can I give you back the club? But allow the guy to finish the season and talk about the politics. I said, by the way, when Chabedi sold 26% to Louis Late, he got it back, he came back to you guys. And guys, I'm tired, I want to sell this club. Give me the offer. You were there, all of you. You didn't give the offer. In fact, all of you, only 6% of Solos. 6%. Now, I think some of the things in the market, is what, when you get involved in football, there are too many pains you must deal with. You must be convinced that you want to be involved in football. It's not an easy business to run. It's not a business. It's just a passion. There are those with money, it's a pet project. But those that are passionate because they're supporters and they want to own the team, that they must understand how to get the satisfaction. But it comes with a cost. Those guys, they ran away and the Swallows was relegated because of the interference. So there are so many dynamics that we allow the community where the team is based to be able to do the right thing. Very same thing. The university was not as cordial. Yes, professor here. When he was straight in 1962, the vice chancellor was not interested in football. He revived it from third division until the first is promoted. In 1977 was the first white team to join us. 1977, because of their nuisance and the liberal stance of the university. But again, now they try to be involved, and the guy says to me, the CEO of Bidvest, Chairman, over and above what I'm getting as a grant, I need another 60 million rands to augment for the budget. If the guy like that one is complaining, who am I to complain? As not shop or as not taxi, as not next. Uthando nje. Now, PBK has got here, not on the border. When your kid is asking for 5,000 rands, I don't have money. When a striker asks for 20,000 rands, you go to the socks to go and take the money out. You give it to the striker. But you can't give it to your family. So all the time we try our best to maintain the history and the tradition of that club. But they are not takers. And we say to the sponsors, you're going to get 16-team league. If you go with 15 teams, it's an infringement. It can end up with termination. What must we do? What must we do? Well, it's a challenge we have. So that's why, but you make sure that we do what is best available as a solution. Right now, we've got a very, very, very strict requirement for licensing. We just finalized a proposition we're going to share with the Board of Governors. One of the requirements is called payables and other infringements. If you don't comply, you might end up losing your status. It's a drastic sanction, but we cannot execute it now until the Board of Governors in November to vote on it. Mark, just mark there.
Okay, let's go to Mark.
This is the last one.
Mark Strado.
Yeah.
There was just that gentleman had his hand.
No, before Mark, then
Let's give him.
Mark must be the last one.
Okay.
You must respect the elders.
Okay. No, thank you. Karabo, I don't know which hat you are wearing today, but Super Sport or.
Oh yeah, my bosses are here, so I'll say.
So you'll be Super Sport. Okay.
Yeah. Looking for a long-term contract at Super Sport. Chair, just good morning to you. My question is 1 and 2, longevity, stability. That's what it's that sense. Can you maybe just explain as to how long is the contract, and secondly, were there other competitors in regards to wanting to be, the sponsorship of the league, and why did you personally or the board of governors decide to go with Betway?
Not board of governors, executive.
Okay. Thank you.
For me.
Okay.
I said to you, when I spoke to them, it seemed they understood our core business of creating conversation. They said they want to help us to sustain the conversation and make it more better. Cannot have a partner as enthusiastic as that one. We had other people that were quoting us. But their selling point was attractive to me and to the executive committee. Because I said to one member of the club, what business are we in? I said, sport. I said, no, that's not a business. We're in the business of creating conversation. If they're going to make sure that they sustain the conversation, they strengthen the conversation, make it exciting, welcome to the club.
All right, Mark Stradom.
Thanks, Chair. I was frantically typing in the beginning there, so if I missed it, I don't think I did. Is there any clarification yet on impact to the multi-choice, the DStv Disky challenge? Is that in threat in any way with?
It's not in threat. I've got 5-year contract as I'm talking to you now.
Okay. And a second one is there enough funding from this deal to possibly look at the implementation of VAR? Thanks.
Implementation of what?
VAR.
His favorite.
No. No. I'm happy you asked that question, Mark. 2022 December, multi-choice came forward that we want to assist you in this VR thing. We have a test run. Unfortunately, we went to the National Association at the time. There were only 2 people who are qualified to be operating a VR. Fortunately, a month ago, in a meeting, a joint license committee meeting, we discussed this matter. They are frustrating, the training of, people to be able to man the VAR. I don't know, after watching the Euro, that the VAR is attractive, again. But we want to go there to assist, because people are now saying, it kills the excitement, which Blatter was the one who was strongly against it. But they want to take out the human element. But again, to avoid, finger pointing, because there's a lot of finger pointing. No, that goal of penalty of Paris was not a penalty. No, but the guy, he dived, No, that game goal of Sundowns, conversation. But we are committed, to do that. But it's off the shelf of multi-choice now. Because apparently the association is taking it over. And they are right because they are the owners of the referees. So we are the signal. We're waiting for the signal from them to tell us what they want to do. At that point, we're ready. November, December 2022, we're ready to go. I'm happy that I'm talking in front of the bosses here. Mr. Rendani, Mr. Jury, they're here. So they can, if I'm lying, they'll say I'm lying. Mr. Graham, am I lying?
Factual, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All protocol observed. Once more, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think they need one question, 2 questions to the new partner. Because he's more vocal than I am, because I know you know the chairman, and it's quite nice to know the chairman. If you don't have questions for him, don't create questions for him. because what he has said, is a mouthful. The sponsorship, is breaking some of the records we have, because there's a statement of intent on their side to make sure that they create that excitement. That is very important to maintain our market share in the family of football in the world. If you don't do that, again, the people that are owning these spiritual owners, especially guys like PBK, when they write in their column, you can see they're owning this space. They know the history of football. They can say, why did you do that? Why did you do that? So you don't want to have that until he retires. I want to retire when he retires, PBK. Once more, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we getting a new job?
Watch the space. Watch the space, PPK. Are you psychic? Are you psychic? Are you psychic?
In the old days when we were driving trucks in Chester,
Watch the space. Hey, man. Kasi suit mari kila mileu. Kila mileu kasi suit. So watch the space. As if you are part of the discussion. If what I'm saying is not what you are imagining, you are right to call me out. But watch the space. A good question. A good question, PBK. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, members of the media, please remain seated. Please just remain seated. Chairman, should we maybe give Mr. Michael just closing remarks with the microphone? Just closing remarks. It's up to you whether you want to be seated. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Thanks for not asking me any difficult questions. No, certainly from our side, I think that if you've had we're in the betting business, and that's a fact, but we're actually not properly in the betting business. We're in the content business. And if you have a look at how we've conducted ourselves in all the sports that we've been involved with, it's about creating content. I know you're all sports journalists, and I hope you don't only cover football, but those of you that have been involved in covering the Betway SA20, we've created a lot of excitement around that event. We think we've brought people into stadiums for that event. The Betway Summer Cup, we've created something special with that. The Springboks. And we as a company have invested significant money very recently in getting involved in the creation of content. And we've partnered up with some very, very significant people who have created some of the best content in this market, some of the best documentaries. And we're going to continue doing that. I think bums on seats, getting people into the stadium is important. The trophy discussion we think is important. What we do to bring the heritage is very important. It's a question that's been asked to me, and I think the chairman answered it correctly. But the heritage of the PSL is very important to me. Just as an aside, and this is not really that important, but as a youngster, I personally spent many weekends at Orlando Stadium supporting Highlands Park. My father was very, very involved with Highlands Park in the 80s. So it's in my heritage. It's in my DNA. It's part of my personal feeling. So we're going to make this work. We're very, very honored to be here and watch the space for some fantastic content. Football is in our blood. Watch that slogan going forward. I think we're going to bring this to life. And very, very excited to be here. And I think you're going to see some amazing content and amazing input from us, not just around putting money in and going away. We don't do that as a company. And thank you very much.
No, when I was asked the question about, how many companies were involved, now it's been quoting me for some time too, a lot of people. Now, in the Champions League, it's 2022. Now, I go to my seat. Whilst I'm sitting there, I'm avoiding everybody, then I hear somebody patting me at the back. He's sitting right behind me. Why are you avoiding me? With Krima Shabalala, souls rest in peace, because one of the emissaries, he spent hours and days as chairman. Betway wants to speak to you, man. Why don't you speak to them? 2022, watching Champions League, he stood next to me, behind me. Today you were here.
All right, colleagues, please, everyone else remain seated. We'll just allow the senior officials to leave the stage, and then we can then carry on with what comes afterwards. Thank you very much. We'll end it here.